Hey, it's Jeff with ID10T Garage, and we're back with the 71 Torino project. Now, in this week's episode, we're going on rust patrol. We got to go finish up some things in the floor and then start working around the firewall and other places to find out how much rust we have left to make this thing structurally sound. So, let's get to it.
In my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stop.
Hey everybody, we're back out here, about to get back to work on our toe boards. So one of the big problems I ran into with the short toe boards that came with the kit that I got for the new floor was they're a little shorter and I had a little more rot higher up. So I had some separate toe board pieces that were just patches I'm gonna cut up and get welded in place. So we're gonna work on that. So let's get to it. Alright, I tried to line this up pretty decently. I'm going to kind of shim it under here a little bit and kind of hammer it down and weld it in place. And then I'll bend that lip down and cut it to fit over there. But at least we get our lines matched up a little bit and kind of looking like it was meant to be this way. So, well, other than where the lines match up at the top, obviously, but we're getting it there. Alright, I got a little piece tacked in there, got some gap right over there that I gotta fix, and I got a big gap right there that I'm gonna have to fix and figure out. But for the most part, as you can see, we got the last of our toe boards welded in. But I lost my camera during this process on this side, so there'll probably be some weird footage issues. We'll see, but that's probably it for the night. But we're getting there. Get these gaps filled and this floor will be in solid and we won't have any huge holes. We'll just have to seam seal it and do all that stuff. Hey guys, we're back out here about to get back to work on these floors. I need to cut a little patch panel that I showed you yesterday, that big gap on the very left of the driver's side floor. So I'm going to cut that, get that welded in, and then we'll see where we go to next. Part of me wants to take the seat out and just start removing all the screws and weld up all those screw holes, but we got some more important things really to do, so we'll see where we go from there. So let's get to it. Alright, we got our piece cut. It fits pretty good. we'll kind of tack it in place and then maneuver it a little bit more along the edge, because it doesn't quite, I mean, it fits, but we're gonna have to put it down and then kind of lean it in there, because there are some gaps and stuff like that. So we'll have to hammer it down once we get it tacked in, especially here in the corner. I think that's the biggest spot I'm seeing right there is, you know, so just needs to be pushed down a little bit. No big deal. So we'll get it worked. I swear, working in these tight spaces is such a pain in the ass. But I got most of it welded in. Now we got some gaps to still do and various other little spots, but I mean, it's in there solid. Needs to be cleaned up and all that good stuff, but something we can live with. Need to grind it down, smooth it out, seam seal it. But on to the next part, which I believe is probably going to be the firewall. So I'll show you guys that just here in a bit. All right, so here's what we have to work with next. We got a big freaking spot right here where the cowl is, and some nasty patches that'll have to be repatched on this side. And then the real big one, we also have a issue over here where we got some rot in the firewall by the master cylinder, or the brake booster, and the windshield wiper setup. So we're going to have to take the fenders off and take the hood off to really get great access to this stuff. So I guess that's what's next. Alright, so here we are. You see we got a pretty bad rusted out spot there. I'm about to take the air chisel to it and get it cleaned up over there. Of course, I had to take the hood hinge off, and one of the bolts broke naturally. Seems like I've done this multiple times with this car. But I'm about to take the air chisel this, try to clean up some of this little section right here, and see how much we can get off and loosen up and get ready to make a patch for. All right, we started getting this patch. We got a little piece that I'm going to have to kind of make a couple pieces. I'll have to take a piece to bend in here, and then I'm going to have to patch this a little bit down here as well. But at least we're getting our top of our patch started, so it's looking okay. Hey, back out here, getting ready to get back to work on that little spot. About to try to get that patched up, see what we can do. It's going to take some work, but we'll get it there. So let's get to it. All right, I've been sitting here bagging and welding. I cut out and made this piece to weld in here real quick. Just kind of a reinforcement plate because this was rotted out a little bit right here. So I got some really thick metal, probably thicker than it needs to be. So I'm going to weld that in real quick. I'm not sure if I got that actually process of making that on camcorder. I walked over to the camcorder and it didn't look like I ever pressed record. So I don't know, but either way, we're about to do some welding. Well, yet again, I don't know what the hell my camcorder recorded, because I went back to it again and it wasn't recording, so I don't know what the hell's going on, but it looks like someone else had started doing some patchwork, and I ended up having to cut all this out because it was all rotted on the curve right here, so I'm going to have to redo that. And a lot of the inside's gone too, so I might have to do something there as well, or I might just have to seal this thing solid, but yeah, this is starting to become crap. Alright, so what I'm going to do with this mess, I've made a straight line for the most part all the way across. That'll get me to right there. And then I'm going to cut and just use this right here, some leftover sheet metal I have, and use that, just L it, and put that there. And then of course I'll, you know, kind of work it to the curve, but we'll see. That's what I'm about to do. Well, in standard fashion, we started making progress, capping off this firewall, getting that little end piece put in, getting this piece started to fab up before we found out that this was rotted out. So, but I ran out of welding gas, so this is our stopping point for the night. I'll have to go get more gas and continue. So, peace. All right, everybody, we're back out here. I refilled the welding tank. So we're going to get back to work on the cow, really kind of try to finish that up today and go from there. It'll probably be an episode after that because there's just so much work to do, and I don't want to make this an overcrowded episode, so we'll probably continue work on it next episode. But let's get to it. All right, we got it all welded in. Now we need to grind it smoother. There's still more work to do, obviously, but I mean, we got that section in, so that should be good for this episode. And we can clean this up real good and then move on to the next section. So, hey, thanks everybody for tuning into this week's episode. As you saw, we had plenty of repairs to do and plenty of repairs to continue to do. We finished up the floor and got it solid. For the most part, we still got to seam seal it. We found a ton of rust in the firewall. Well, started from just a couple little spots. Turned out there was some Bondo and need to do much more repairs. And we found the inner cowl is pretty much roached. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to kind of put that back in place because your inner cowl is structurally a big part of your car. So I'm going to use some Mustang parts, see if I can make those work and see what we can do there. But like I said, you know, we got a lot of repairs done, got a lot of stuff where we need it to be, but plenty more work to do. So continue watching, like, share, subscribe, comment, please. Let me know what you think, and we'll see you next week.
In my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping out.